So the Czech Republic has decided to criminalize the promotion of communist ideology starting January 2026. And it has been a law that anyone who creates, supports, or disseminates communist movements may face 1 to 5 years in prison. I think it's retarded. And I noticed that on the internet, if you disagree with the solution to a problem, people assume that you actually like the problem. It's like, no, I think that the person proposing the solution is a moron. It's a different thing, right? Like, for example, if you have a person saying, if there's a house fire, you should take a piss on it. And I would say, no, that's retarded. No, like, you need to get the fire extinguisher. It means that you enjoy house fires, you sick sadistic fuck. This is apparently how the internet thinks, and it's incorrect. No, I don't like communism. In fact, I think it's one of the most disgusting and vile ideologies ever made. But I don't think that signing a piece of paper and saying, it's illegal is actually a good solution. Because I actually know what happens when you do that. People think that the ideology becomes edgy. Like, if they're so afraid of it, if they're so terrified to it, then it must be something that they're hiding from us. And so you genuinely create more interest. An ideology dies away when it becomes boring, not when it becomes heretical literature. It's like something so dangerous that the government is terrified of it, it must make it into a crime. Like, what is it? It's people talking to each other and using symbols. And this terrifies the politician? Yes, it terrifies the politician, right? And so, no, it's not a good idea. Secondly, I do understand that politicians, all of them, every single one of them, are sick bastards, right? The politicians get mad with power. They get drunk off it. And so when they look at the laws, most of the time, they don't look at the laws. It's like, let's apply them for what they're supposed to be. But it's like, how can I use this political system that was given to me in order to empower and enrich myself? This is how most politicians think. Like, if I was a politician, I would think the same, okay? And if you are a politician and you didn't think the same, I would fucking dominate you. Like, my party would crush you. Because you're an honest person and I'm a pragmatist. And so, most politicians that think like me end up looking at the various laws and they're like, okay, so communism is illegal. This person is campaigning against me. How can I make him sound like a communist? Or how can I make the public think he is a communist so that we can lock him up? This is pretty much what's happening in Europe right now with, anti-fascist laws, right? Like, when anti-fascism becomes illegal, all of a sudden every single political opponent just happens to be an anti-fascist. If you disagree with the establishment, you just happen to be a fascist. It will be the same in the Czech Republic if they actually apply it, right? Like, all of a sudden you'll find communists everywhere. Because, again, the concept creep is a thing that exists in politics, right? So, like, the law is initially passed to fight against something that is well-defined. And in time, because of the institutional interest, like, more and more people will fill into that category, even if they aren't really communists. And so the question is, like, how do you stop communism? Well, you stop it with educating people. Like, you do not make something illegal. You make something boring, as I said before, right? And so you teach it in schools. You show the harmful effects. You teach children in a way they can understand. You don't just say, well, like, communism is bad because blah, blah. It's pretty much like, listen, the whole idea of communism is that you have one person that takes everything from everybody away and then redistributes it equally, right? How do you feel when someone takes away your shit? Like, how do you act when someone takes away your stuff? You become angry, right? Like, you want to fight that person. So, like, you realize that you cannot take people's stuff away without bloodshed. Because people generally care about their things and they rise up, right? So now you have to kill people in order to take their shit away. Secondly, once someone has all the shit, why would you redistribute it? Like, what guarantee do you have that someone that has the power to take the shit away from everyone is going to redistribute it? Right? Like, this is the conversation you need to have. Or you can talk about, like, imagine at a classroom, if the teacher now says that everyone gets the average grade, right? So like you go there, you study really hard, you get an A plus, but apparently you're going to get a B, even though you studied as an A plus. The reason is that other people didn't study, so now your grade becomes a little bit lower, right? The next time when you go there, are you going to study as much? Well, probably not, right? Because you're going to think, someone else will do it. And so you are going to get from an A plus to the bare minimum in order to pass. You can use these types of examples, right? Like to educate children why communism is bad. It's not necessarily that's an ideology that doesn't work, but it's an ideology that legitimizes useless people from gaining power that they do not deserve. That's what communism is at the end of the day, right? It's not about whether it's working or not. I'm pretty sure like the ideology itself can work in a small environment, like maybe a village where everybody knows everyone, a tribe, a family, right? Like everybody knows everyone else, so like they share things. They have like kinship and stuff like that. So you can have like communism working in that sense. But when you have a nation state with 300 million people where most people don't even know their neighbors that they live in the same flat with, the idea of equality becomes absurd, right? Because like every single person cares more about their relatives, they care more about the people close to them. And so now communism has to create an ideology to force people to stop caring. Like in order for communism to work, you would have to stop caring about your son a lot so that you can care about your neighbor, right? So the idea would be that your neighbor and your son would have in your head the same level of caring. And that's anti-human. That just doesn't know. Like no human being thinks like that, right? And now you'd have the government to try to force people to think like that, which is why another reason why communism is an awful ideology, right? Like the concept of equality. And it's also like, do you really want to be equal with other people? I guess if you're a homeless person, maybe, you know, and it's also the question, like, equal as in what? As in what? You know, equal pay for equal work. Well, what does that mean? How do you quantify that it's actually equal work? Because, like, again, the way that the communists do it is if you have, like, 2 chefs, well, that's equal work. And it's not, right? Like, no, any person that works in an industry will tell you that just because you have the same profession and the same name and even, like, the same time that you've worked for, that doesn't necessarily make you equal. So, like, for example, Chef Gordon Ramsay, right? Like, he can take something very cheap from the market and he can make an excellent dish with, only $50 versus someone that can also be a chef, get a Uruguay steak and then burn it, right? And that's equal work. Should they get equal pay? Like, one of them actually brought value. The other one, despite the fact that they worked, they reduced value. And so why should they get equal pay? And if you do get equal pay, what's to motivate Chef Ramsay for remaining and being like Chef Ramsay? When he sees that no matter how much effort he puts, he will never go up, and other people that don't put effort are being treated exactly like him. Right? And so, in order to fight communism, you don't sign a piece of paper. In order to fight communism, you actually inform and you educate people. Let me know what you guys think, though, and as usual, we'll see each other in the comment section. Take care.